Alright, I know what you guys are thinking, but before you click off this video, I too used to think this deck sucked until I started losing to it at locals with meta. Yeah, seriously. Alright, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another rogue deck profile. So I've really had a lot of fun bringing you guys these rogue deck profiles because they actually are pretty solid decks. Like, for example, shout out to my friend Chris for letting me profile this deck. He came up with it himself, mono green Vegito, using a lot of the new support cards, one of which being the champ pack from 2018, one of which being the anniversary box Vegito. This past weekend at 3 locals, he won 1 locals, came in first place, and at another locals, 2 other locals came top 4. So pretty impressive showing with this deck, and he's playing against meta decks, he's playing against Toa, he's playing against Announcer, he's playing against Broly, and he's winning and doing really well with his deck. So I thought it was really worth kind of shouting out. I gave him a lot of crap for a few things in this deck, one of which not playing blue-green, because I really thought that the Sand Duo Vegito engine was just really worth it and really strong, but he actually really opened my eyes this past weekend about how powerful the mono green build is. And before you click off this video again, you will see the Broly Secret Rare here. I'm going to talk about some options for you guys that either don't have the Broly Secret Rare or can't get access to it, whatever the case may be, because this is meant to be a rogue deck, and while the Broly Secret Rare does increase the power level quite a bit, I'm going to talk about some other options you can use to replace that in case you're not able to access it. But with that being said, we're going to get into this Vegito deck profile. It is mono green, splashing a few black, blue, and red cards. I'll give you a quick overview of the leader because it's probably been a while since you've seen this deck. So when this card attacks a leader card, draw 1 on the unawakened side. Awaken, untap 2. So the awaken turn in this deck is absolutely nuts. There's like so many different playlines you can take with all the different Vegito combos you can do. It gets really insane. Going all in, SSB Vegito, permanent during your turn. If your opponent has no battle cards in their battle area, this card gets 5,000 power and double strike. So that's just a pretty big game ender on its own. When this card attacks, draw 1. Then if your opponent has 2 or less battle cards, this card gains 5,000 power for duration of the turn. So a free 5 to 10k bump and the double strike potential is pretty powerful. We'll get into the main deck. So this is obviously a Vegito based deck, and it runs really smoothly. So Time's Choice Supreme Kai of Time, this is just to see your pieces. This is a combo deck by all means, so you do need to see your 4-drop Vegitos, your 3-drop Vegitos, your red Vegito. You got to see your Hyper Rush. You got to see a lot of cards. So Time's Choice just really helps filter through all that and kind of get you there. Vegito powers combined. This is the ideal turn 2 play. So you're going to use 1 energy on turn 2 for Vegito Polymorphic Batora, which we'll give a read real quick. So that is our one of our red cards we're splashing. Activate main, 1 colorless. Place this card in your drop area from your hand. If your leader card is a Vegito, which we are, choose 1 Son Goku and 1 Vegeta card in your deck or drop area with energy costs of 2 or less. Negate their skills, play them in rest mode, shuffle your deck if you look through it, and you can't play non-Vegito battle cards for the duration of the turn. So this card really makes it a requirement that you're basically a pure Vegito deck, because that is a pretty steep requirement post using the effect, right? And then at the end of the turn, place all battle cards in the battle area by this skill in the owner's drop area. So this is your play starter on turn 2. And then you're going to also go into Vegito's power combined. So for 1, you're going to fuse into Goku and Vegeta. When you play this card, draw 1. If you play with Union, draw another 1. Activate main for 2 energy. Choose 1 Vegito other than Vegito under the powers combined with energy cost less than or equal to your current energy and play it. If you do, add this card to your energy in rest mode. So you basically get to combo off for a lot cheaper, because what happens is you play this on turn 2. It's pretty hard for your opponent on turns 2 or 3 to answer a 20k body, even if it's in rest mode. Like, you can use this to threaten leader, you can use this to threaten battle cards, and sometimes it's going to be pretty hard for them to remove it on turn 2. So this is a big playmaker in the deck, makes a lot of your plays cheaper, gives you a lot of draw power as well. Shocking Death Ball, your negate, obviously. Newfound Power Son Gohan, 4 of our 6 awakening targets in the deck, so just that crit pressure is really solid. And not too much to say there. Trunks, Bridge to the Future, again, it helps you see pieces. Like, pretty much I think every battle card is a Saiyan. Wow, that's pretty insane, actually. Every single battle card in this deck is a Saiyan, except for the Time's Choice, I suppose. But this card is super powerful. Also helps you fill that overrealm for that Time's Choice. So, really good card. Paragus Sacrifice, this is pretty much in here just for the Broly Secret Rare, but if you do have like a Newfound Power Son Gohan on the board you don't need, or a Trunks Bridge to the Future you don't need, you can stack it to draw a card if you don't have a better play for the turn, but this is pretty much serving the purpose of going into the Broly SCR. This card paired with the SCR, if you don't have them, this can be 4 different cards. This can be other Vegito options. This could be more lightning speed Vegitos. This could be another copy or 2 of Time's Choice Spring Hive Time to see the rest of your combo pieces. You've got a few different options there. You can play a few more Self-Awakeners because sometimes it is a bit of an issue getting Self-Awakened, like another Hyperspeed Vegeta. Hyperspeed Goku would be a decent replacement. Just talking about Hyperspeed on Goku, this is a 3-drop, take 2 life, gain 15 crit. So you swing for a ginormous crit, obviously. If this gets you to your awaken point, you can awaken, potentially drop a Vegeta. Or if you already have a Vegeta on board, you can go into Vegito powers combined, or you can go into a Vegito Supreme Warrior Reborn. Depending what your energy state looks like, depending on what cards you already have on the board, you can do those types of plays with this card. So this card's a really good card, and if you don't have access to the Broly SCR, a 3rd copy may be warranted. Next up, we've got our Vegetas and Gokus for our Vegito Polymorphic Fusion. So we have a 2-drop vanilla Goku because there's really no better green Goku to play. You could play Close Quarters Goku, but we don't have any dual colors in the deck, and it's a 2-energy combo, so that's a big problem. We don't really want to be negging on that and not being able to combo with it when we need, to survive, basically. And then Tactical Victory Vegeta is just a... it's a 2-drop Vegeta with a random skill. If in a pinch you can play it to kill a field spell. That's probably going to be more relevant when Toki Toki City comes out. Not the most relevant thing at the moment, but it just comes out off of the Polymorphic Vegeta, and in the worst case scenario, it does have a skill in case you need to deal with a field spell really badly, so that is something just to consider there. Paragus Super Combo, one of the best reasons to play a green leader in the entire game. The card is just so good. Cycle out dead cards, and in this deck, there really aren't a ton of dead cards, but let's just say you do have a lot of 10k combos in your hand, you're trying to live. This card filters those out. Really, really effective. Vegito Super Warrior Reborn. Another reason for this deck to be mono green, because the Unipator for 3 green is actually really strong. So on turn 4 or on any given Awaken turn where you can Vegito Polymorphic Fusion, you can go into this guy for 3, so real cheap, and you can draw 3 cards, which is absolutely insane. The only slight drawback of the leader is that his Activate main requires you to be awakened, which can kind of be a pain because, obviously that stints your plays if you're not able to get there. But if your leader card is going all in SSB Vegito, choose 1 Vegito with 25,000 power in your hand and evolve this card into it. So a very strong play going on turn 4 will be Vegito powers combined. You can either play it on that turn, or you can, it'll just be there from a previous turn. Swing with it for pressure. Go into the Warrior Reborn for just a 2-energy play, so you have a ton of energy to play with after that. And then if you're able to awaken that turn, or awaken if you're already awakened from a previous state, like there's a ton of different play lines this can go. You're listening to me ramble, obviously, but there's so many different situations you can be up to at this point. Turn 3, turn 4, you go off. You go into Hyper Rush Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. Now this card, it was super strong when it was released. Obviously, it has a really crazy effect, but there was no good way to bring it out. This deck has tons of good ways to bring it out. So Unipator for 5. You're not typically going to need to rely on that. Triple Strike, solid game ender. When you play this card, if your leader is Vegito, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and up to one of the cards in your opponent's hand and place them in the drop area. So your opponent's negging 2 right there. Then you draw 2, so you're plussing 2. Then you may choose 2 cards in life, add them to your hand. So this is another way to get awakened if you're not able to, get there, obviously. Obviously, you won't be able to resolve Super Warrior Reborn, but we do have another way to bring out the Hyper Rush Vegito. And the other really solid thing is, for the Secret Rare in general, the Hyper Rush allows you to basically put yourself at 1 life if you're going from 3 or 2 life. You can go to 1 life. You can after swinging with the Hyper Rush, you can Paragus to pop it off, go right into the Secret Rare, and you're at 1 life ready to go. Secret Rare, talked about it a bunch. It is a super solid game ender, incredibly strong card. And then we have Lightning Speed Vegito. So this is a card that Chris plays in the deck to basically go off. It's only a 2-of for a few reasons, but if he's not able to awaken by turn 3 or turn 4, he can Lightning Speed to get out his Hyper Rush Vegito. So Lightning Speed Vegito is a really old Vegito, and what it does is this card can attack battle cards in active mode, and at the end of the battle, after this card attacks, place 10 cards top of your deck in the drop area, then choose 1 Vegito with 25,000 power from your drop area, and evolve it by placing it on top of this card in active mode. So you can pretty much see what the play is there. You evolve on 4, you can go Polymorphic Vegeta on 4, then you still have 3 energy to do the Vegito play, and then if you're not awakened, let's say you're at 6 life, Vegito can get you to 4 life. You can awaken, attack for potentially a 25k double strike with your leader. You can make more plays with your board depending what's in your hand. The reason that Lightning Speed Vegito is only at 2 is because it's a 10k combo. We don't want to clunk too hard on those, but other than that, there's a lot of self-awaken in the deck, so No real reason to run more than 2 lightning speed Vegitos. I really like the ratios that that Chris has gone with here. I think the deck is really solid. It's super fun too, like watching him play the deck and just watching it do well, like watching the deck basically explode from like polymorphic into Warrior Reborn or into just Vegito powers combined to draw 2 on turn 2, going into Hyper Rush. Every time he drops Hyper Rush, oh my god, it's just such a ginormous tempo turn. So this deck is really fun. I really would advise considering trying this at your locals, maybe play something fun before set 7. Give it a shot, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this deck. And thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Joey. This is Crossroad TCG. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Alright, now that you guys finished watching that video, they should have never banned fucking Child's Wish. They shouldn't. Super Shadow was the best deck in the game. Super Shadow was the best!